Okay, this is a video covering the initial setup configuration of the DV988. You will pretty much see what you will see here once you connect the device for the first time and run it, whether it's a temporary connection or a permanent connection. I'll go through basically initial setup and configuration of the device. Once you turn it on, the device, you will see basically this screen, and I'm going to stop the recording and go through this configuration. This is basically initial menu. As you will see, the characters are in Chinese. To change that, the first step with the language settings, you have to go into the system settings, and then under the blue icon with the font and the gear, and there you'll see English. Select that, and once you go back, you'll see that the language already changed to English. And I'm going to go through each and every option one by one real quick. Voltage setting is pretty much the minimum voltage the battery can have before the device will actually stop and shut down, so you won't use any more of the battery juice. Default is 11.5. You can change it if you want to. Increase it if you want to be more on the safer side, but typically you don't want to go too high. Anyway, second one is voice. It has really nothing to do with the voice recording or audio recording. It is more of a beeping feedback the device gives you once you touch buttons. I typically turn it off because it gets really annoying. Formatting the hard drive SD card is actually the second thing that you need to do, which I say yes, and now once it's done, it'll go back to the previous screen, as you will see in a few seconds. There you go. Clock settings is basically changing the date and the time. Typically, if it's wrong, you can change it. It's 10:09, 10:10 almost p.m. So I will have to go 2200. Minute is correct. The date is today's actually 19th. Go back, and reset setup is pretty much what I've done to show you the initial initial configuration setup of the device. It basically resets the device to the factory default settings. Languages, we've already gone through that. Firmware versions just shows you the firmware that's currently installed, and you'll actually notice the name actually has a date, 2023-23. So you can check BlueSkySea's website to see if the firmware on their website is actually a newer version. You can download it, put it on the SD card, follow the instructions to update your device. And that's it for system settings. Now, playback lets you basically watch the videos or pictures that you previously recorded. Recording is basically just returns to the initial screen and it actually starts recording. Preferences is the next section. LCD save is very similar to the screensaver on a computer. It just kicks in with the time and your speed. I just typically just turn that off. I want to see whatever the video capture is. Safe mode is basically a warning feature. If the device hits, if once you hit the specified speed or time, it kind of gives you a warning message on the screen. That's all it really does. Again, it's something I just turned it off. Protection level is G-sensor, G-shock. I do have a very high vibrating motorcycle, so I typically turn that off because it'll falsely detect the vibrations as a stress, as a shock, and as a disturbance, and it'll actually record the videos under the SOS directory on the SD card. And I don't want it to do that. I want it to put the videos in the directory called normal, because the normal directory actually has a allocated space of 69% of the total memory available, and SOS videos will actually have an allocation of 30%. So if you have a 32 gigabyte video card, the SOS videos will consume about 9.6 gigabytes, and the normal videos will consume about 21.5 or something, and then like a half a gig or so will be to the photos. And let's go through the settings. Protection level is basically G-Shock. Sound recording is actually audio recording. I leave it on, and default is on. Movie clip is the length of the clips that will be the device will be recording. So I don't want too many little itty bitty videos, so I usually just go with the maximum 10 minutes. I wish they actually had like longer, but that's it for now. Maybe in the future firmware updates they might actually enable it, because on the smartphone app, which is called Road Cam, I actually saw 25 minutes, I believe, or 20 minutes, but I wasn't able to select it because I guess the device doesn't support it. So, but the option is there. Rear mirror is one of the only features or functions that I couldn't really figure out what it does. My guess was kind of like a backup camera in a car, but I'm not certain. Again, feel free to turn it on, play around with it. Maybe it basically makes the rear camera output a display on the screen when you turn on the device. Maybe it kind of helps you see what's going on in the back, kind of like what a backup camera does, but I'm not sure if that's really the reason. Auto record makes the device start recording immediately once you turn it on. If you turn it off, then you would have to manually start recording. And once you turn the device on, it won't automatically start recording. SOS cycle allows the device to overwrite the emergency videos saved in the SOS directory. If you turn it off, then the videos will not be overwritten. So that's probably one of the options you have if you have a Harley Davidson or a Moto Guzzi, and it's like, or a high vibration motorcycle, and you have the G sensor or G protection turned on. Even at the lowest setting, my videos were saved in the SOS directory. So if that happens, then you have to turn on the SOS cycle. That way, even though you'll be limited to the 30% of the video SD card capacity, at least the videos will be overwritten. Otherwise, once it hits 30% full, 30% of the SD card is full, it's going to stop recording altogether. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Other option will be is to actually disable the protection level. So you know. The last section is functional set, and what you have is parking monitor. So it's strictly a security feature. And you have to have G sensor, the protection mode turned on, and once it senses the disturbance, it'll actually start recording for 20 or 30 seconds as an emergency video. I usually just turn that off. I don't use it, I don't need it. GPS is the GPS function. Wi-Fi car cam is the Wi-Fi connection that allows your smartphone using the Road Cam app to connect to the device. And pretty much I don't really use it. I installed it and I actually connect it, which I will show in a separate video. But again, I use the screen, and usually the phone is not on me. It might be in the top box or in my pocket, so I find it not as convenient. So flicker is it has to do with the power configuration of the device. I would say it's similar to like 110 volt or 220 volt in different parts of the world. So I believe in North America it has to be 60 hertz, but feel free to contact BlueSkySea to confirm what setting you should use for your region. Time zone is basically time zone, similar to a time zone on a computer. I am in the Pacific Standard Time, so that's pretty much what I select. Speed mode is basically just the measurement of speed that you use. And I'm in the US, so it's going to be mile per hour, and that's pretty much it. Show you how long it takes for the device to shut itself off once you turn the ignition off. Takes you about 5-6 seconds. There it goes. That's it.